Tight quarters today, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody ready? We'll go straight to questions for Coach.
Eric, you alluded to this after the game the other day, but you guys are playing pretty small rotations, but yet you're pulling away at the end like you did against Indiana, you did against Valpo, you did against, I think, South Dakota. What's the key to that? Because I think most people think if you're just playing 7 or 8 guys, you're going to wear down at the end, not pull away.
Yeah, it kind of is the same thing the last 4 years. I think that the summer conditioning becomes paramount for a team that doesn't have a deep roster, and our guys worked really hard all summer. They worked hard in the weight room. They worked hard conditioning wise. And I think there is beauty in being able to play through mistakes. There's beauty in, a lot of our guys are going to go into the game Saturday and, I'm not really subbing them. They're kind of subbing themselves, so to speak, when you're only playing 7 guys and players can play through mistakes and you play with a lot freer mind. And even before the Indiana game, I mean, we talked to our team at shoot-around about how Indiana was going to play 11 guys, and they were going to take guys out that might be in a rhythm, and that's what happens when you play 11 guys. And the makeup of our team right now is our group understands who's going to get shots, where they're going to get shots from, and then I think they've put themselves in great physical condition where they don't wear down mentally or physically during the course of a 40-minute game. And I thought especially early on in the season there were teams that were playing guys that were not in their real rotation. And that sometimes plays to your benefit.
How satisfying is that? I'm not sure if you said this on the radio, I saw a quote, if you said it to us, but when, hey, the other team's supposed to wear you down, but instead it seems like there's the opposite.
Yeah, I just think there's this just natural thing of, hey, Arkansas is going to get tired as the game wears on, and we know that that's not going to be the case. You've got to sub guys at media timeouts. Maybe you put them in 30 seconds before the media timeout. You take them out 30 seconds before the media timeout to get them a little bit more of an extended blow than just a 30 seconds. And so you look at the stat sheet and you think the guy's only been out, for 30 seconds, but in reality, he's also been out during that timeout segment. So it's a consecutive 2.5 minutes, so to speak. So. But I think our guys, physically and mentally feel like they can fight through fatigue.
Is there any different approach to conference play? Is it just next game up?
No, I think when you play an ACC school, like Georgia Tech, or you play a Big Ten school like Indiana, those are, Power 5 schools that are, that have great crowds and they're battled. So I think that certainly. In conference play, it takes on a completely different, competitiveness. Crazy things happen in conference play. Obviously, I'm a night owl and watched what happened in the Mountain West last night in conference play. And, Utah State's been very close to being ranked all year. And Utah State loses at UNLV, and New Mexico's 12-2, and they lose at San Jose State. And San Jose State's only won a handful of conference games over the last 2 years. So you got to come ready to play in conference play. And if you don't, you'll get smacked pretty quick, and you'll end up with an L. But we know, like, hey, come conference play, every single game, like if you don't bring your A game, you're not winning. That's pretty simple. You're not going to get away with playing a B game, or you're not going to get away with playing 22 minutes and the other 18. You can't do that. Like, you got to play for 40 minutes from here on out, and if you don't, you're not going to win. And certainly shots aren't going to fall for 40 minutes, but if you don't follow the game plan, if you don't defend at a high level for 40 minutes, it's quite simply any game from here on out, we're not winning.
What does A&M do best from what you've seen?
They're physical. They play hard. They rebound. They have a big guy inside, Nebo, who can offensive rebound. They're a great offensive rebounding team. I think those are their strengths. And then, Flag can score the ball at the 3, and then if they want to play small, they can move him to the 4. I think those things are things we've talked about, over the last few days.
Eric, I guess in the preseason poll, you guys were picked 11th by the student media. I think if the poll was taken today, you guys would probably be in the top 4 or so. What do you think about how you guys have exceeded expectations? How satisfying has that been, and how do you think that plays into the conference race now.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, the 11th preseason poll, like, right now we're starting. Like, this is when they said we'd be 11th, not through the first, group of games that we're at right now. So we haven't proven anything. I mean, maybe the media is going to be geniuses, and that's where we'll fall. But, we thank everybody for the extra motivation, certainly.
How important is it going to, go ahead, Bob.
You got something you guys took to heart? That'd be
Yeah,
important.
certainly. We listen to comments. We've read everything. We've posted articles. We've posted articles where people talk about every team in the conference except maybe us or one other team. And I think that, again, maybe everybody's right, and we're, what they said we would be, and that's why you play the games, and we're looking forward to going out and compete, and can't wait to play in front of a sold-out crowd on Saturday.
The pace you guys want to play out, how important is that to get that kind of going early and establish that?
Yeah, I think with us it's been really unique because some nights we've played better slow and execute, and the one thing is because we defend and we can defend for a full shot clock, sometimes we can play that style, and some teams want to run with you and some teams try to milk the clock, and certainly we're best in transition, and we're best when our defense is creating offense and we're jumping in passing lanes and getting steals and deflections. But in reality, that's any team in college basketball, any team in the NBA. If in fact you get live ball turnovers, you're going to be really good. And even teams that aren't a high volume live ball turnover team, they score in transition too. So we certainly like to play a little bit faster game than maybe some other people, but the key really is quality of shot selection, and then being able to defend for the entire shot clock, and then finishing the defensive segment with a defensive backboard. It doesn't do any good to guard for 30 seconds, and then you watch them play ping pong off the offensive boards.
When you see Isaiah pull up from like 5 feet beyond the line, what goes through your mind? And then how does that maybe alter your offense when he knocks a couple of those down?
Yeah, I mean, every time he shoots, I think it's going in. Sometimes, I bet if we took percentage of his, deep threes, he probably actually shoots those percentages higher than when his toes are on the line. I think, he's got such a high basketball IQ. I don't think that he takes a shot all game that in his heart and mind doesn't think that thing's going in. So some of those shots actually are probably pretty good ones for us, and it also stretches the defense out. Even if it's a miss, I think that the defense will crowd him and Mason a little bit more, and then that opens up a dribble drive lane for somebody else.
Buzz Williams said today that Isaiah's 37%, I think, from beyond 25 feet, so he's watching. But have you ever crossed paths with Buzz Williams before?
Yeah, cross paths with him every year at the Nike coaches retreat, and the thing with Coach Williams, he's an incredible learner and he's an incredible sharer. He loves to share information. He loves to talk basketball. He loves to write everything down. He's one of the best college basketball coaches in the country, and it's been that way for quite some time. And anybody that follows Buzz's track record of how he got to where he is, incredible story of hard work and determination, and I think everybody in the coaching profession really looks up to Coach Williams.
Has he
What
ever
about on
shared
the-
anything with you that you might be able to use in this game?
I don't think so.
What about on the court? Have you ever met on the court?
Never met, first time we've competed against each other, but certainly an incredible amount of respect from afar.
What did you learn about this league the 1 year that you were at LSU?
Just the competitive nature of it. I think that's pretty, like, you can look at the A-Sun, you can look at every conference, and there's upsets every night in conference play. Every single night, there's one game that you go, wow, how did that happen? And so the whole key is just how do you get your team mentally focused for 40 minutes and then get them ready the next game? Because what happens is you play a game and then you got another one 2 or 3 days later. You got short turnaround. You have travel. You're playing in front of opposing. So there's a lot of factors on why conference play becomes more difficult in all sports. It doesn't matter whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever. Conference play is hard.
Coach,
Other
did the
coaches.
19 AP votes this week kind of make the rounds to the players? Did you show that to them?
Yeah, I really didn't. I did that a lot last year and learned through my mistakes. The key is our only concern really should be like how can we prepare ourselves best for Texas A&M. The last 2 years I've talked about it a lot with our team and trying to prove people wrong or then trying to stay where we are. I think I put too much pressure on my team last year. And, I should have let those guys just worry about the game. And so I don't think I'll really do that. I might do it with our staff behind closed doors or my wife doesn't want to hear me. I'll talk to my dog about it. But, in reality, I just kind of want these guys just to ball out and not worry about anything other than how to beat Texas A&M.
A lot of the coaches were saying day on the call, it's wide open. Do you feel like you talk to your guys about winning the conference championship, or do you think you guys have as good a shot as anybody?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm really, and I know it's like coach speak and all, but like really the only, and if you talk to our guys, they'll tell you this, like the only thing that we've talked about is how do we win the next game on our schedule? Like how do we go 1-0? And that's like kind of how we are. We understand that anybody can beat us, anybody. And we also feel on the flip side that if we're making shots and defending at a high level that we can beat anybody. But we're just not at this spot where we're just going to be able to walk out on the floor and just beat somebody because it says Arkansas against the front of our jerseys. Like we're going to have to go earn every game, and I think that our players understand that.
So Letterman's weekend, I guess a lot of guys are coming back. How do you feel about that?
Really cool to get to develop new relationships with people that have meant so much to the program and so much winning that has gone on in the past here, and to be able to meet people that you watched on TV or you admired from afar. Really cool, and like I'm the new guy, so it's great for me to be able to meet people that, like I said, that have meant so much to this fan base.
What kind of dog do you have? What's the dog's name?
The dog's name, are you guys ready? Is Swish.
It had to be a basketball thing.
Yes, it's a great dog name. I highly recommend it for anybody that loves basketball and buys a new dog. Is go with that name, Swish.
What kind of dog is it?
That I don't know.
Just sort of a
Just a
mix?
little tiny one that likes to
Okay.
sit next to me even when we lose.
Is it a male, female?
It's a male.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Just-
A lot of crazy
Your wife
questions.
pick it up?